Hi, Homeworthy. I'm Caroline Lunne. Welcome to the Birdhouse in Charleston, South Carolina.
Watching Homeworthy, where we believe every home has a story. If you're looking to make your own space more homeworthy, we've teamed up with Cherish, our go-to online destination for chic, one-of-a-kind finds, sourced from the world's most wonderful vendors.
Mercury drops are from an artist I found on Cherish.
Whether we're after a bold statement piece or the perfect finishing touch, Cherish has extraordinary items that leave a lasting impression.
This table I bought on Cherish from Berlin, and it has a little bit of it's a tray, and it is mid-century, and it's one of my favorite pieces.
It's where we find iconic looks to set homes apart.
I think many dealers would agree that Cherish is the absolute best.
So to support Homeworthy and discover amazing items from Cherish, scan the QR code or click on the link below to start shopping.
My name is Caroline Lunne. I am a founder of a marketing agency, and welcome to my home in Charleston, South Carolina. I have lived in this house for about 3 years now. 3 years ago, we did a complete renovation, and I brought my sense of color and wonder to this home. I call it the birdhouse because it has a bird on the front, and I love living here. I used to live down the street from this house, and every day I would come home and pass it on my way home from work, and I would always say to myself, if someone got their hands on that, that could be such a magical place to live. And then when I saw it come on the market, I pounced on it and was so excited to completely redo the whole space and bring lots of color and put my own touch on the house. We did a lot of renovations on the place, nothing major like walls torn down, etc. And we have all the original floors, which is one of my favorite things about the house, and the original windows, which are very old. That house is about 90 years old. However, we redid the paint colors, we kind of redid the flow, and just brought it to this era while still keeping its charm. Welcome to my living room. The hero, my favorite part of the living room is this yellow couch with pink piping. I dreamed of a yellow couch, and I actually found this couch on clearance at Anthropologie on the floor. I made my brother carry it through the entire mall into a truck, so shout out to him. I love it. I sit on it every single day. Above the couch is this gallery wall, which is a collection of my favorite artists and things that mean a lot to me. This portrait right here, I got done in Paris by an artist that I love in college, which I've been saving it for many years. This other portrait my dad did of me when I was very young. This print, maybe this is how it starts, is just something that inspires me every day with wonder, like maybe today is when something great begins. So I love that mindset and that print. My dad is also an artist, and this painting here, this print far over here, is a picture of my mom, my grandma, and my aunt sewing when they were featured in a magazine, kind of similar to Homeworthy. So I love that picture to just shout out to the generations of women who have been such artists in my life. We got lots of color happening with the pillows. The more pillows, the better, so I love those. The rug here kind of brings all of the color together. It's one of my favorites, kind of bringing the couch to the floor, then up here to the fireplace, so I love the rug with the clear coffee table. Because this is a small space, we kind of had to break it up a little bit, so that kind of gives you some relief for your eye in the middle of the room. Here is my teal chair that I love, also from Anthropologie, and then some prints above it. I love butterflies. I have a thing with butterflies, so you'll notice a lot of butterflies in this house. We transition over here to the fireplace that we painted pink on the bricks to actually match the pink lining of the windows. So I'm all about the details, and I love that we did these little things throughout the house, especially the lining of the windows to match the fireplace. This painting is one of my all-time favorites. This is actually one of my first freelance projects in college. I did a website in swap for this painting by an artist named Tina, and I love it every day. I think of our early beginnings. So I love this painting with lots of color. One of my favorite things to do is to restyle my coffee table, but right now we have a few coffee table books featured, some coasters, candles important, and my favorite part is a few matches from my match collection in this little heart dish from my mom. I love collecting matches. It's just like such a great memento to remember where we've been and where we go. And then I made these matchbooks for my house, actually, for takeaway guests for my birthday party last year. It says a special occasion is today, which is something I always try to remember. And I love keeping those for guests in my house. We are in a smaller space, so something I thought about when designing this space is how can we bring more light in here and make most of the space. Something that has helped is this mirror. I find that mirrors on walls, we just kind of help see the space a little bit more. Other things is I'm always trying to declutter, get rid of stuff, which is basic, but it is very helpful. This is where my TV is, and all my treasures and books I kind of store in this piece of furniture. Some highlights. This picture is one of my favorites. It's of the house originally when it was built in 1930s. So I love kind of honoring that and remembering where the birdhouse came from. So that's a special picture that the owners shared with me when I bought the house. Others are pictures of my family. I love the bright pop of these coffee table books. I love a coffee table book. And then inside is kind of where the rest of my collections and collected items goes. Next, we're gonna head into my kitchen. So this is my kitchen, one of my favorite rooms in the house. One of my favorite things about the room is my blue retro fridge. As soon as I toured the house, before it was in this state, I knew that this was a house that needed a retro fridge. So we did start planning the design around this fridge, which inspired a lot of the room. We'll move around here, and these countertops were actually in the house. So we tried to use as much that was in the house during the major renovation as we could. So we kept these countertops, and I love them. I think they give kind of a retro feel, and I love the rich blue color that they bring into this space. Along with the countertops, we also kept the cabinets, and all we did was we added some new brass hardware and some trim to the cabinets, and it was such an easy way to elevate a cabinet door that was otherwise kind of bland and brought a lot of texture to the room, so without having to replace them. So I do love my cabinets and all the hardware. You'll notice also we painted the inside of these windows blue, just like we did in the family room pink, to bring that color pop into the room without having to coat the whole room. I think I ordered hundreds of samples, but we finally landed on this one that really brings all the colors together in the space. So we have the pink from the living room, we have this dark blue from the countertops, we have some yellow, which is my big yellow light in the middle, and it brings it all together, and I love it. I was so afraid I would get sick of it, but I haven't yet. It really is a great backdrop for the kitchen and a different take, because it's this fun floral pattern, which you don't always see in a kitchen space. I love this big yellow light in my kitchen. When looking for a light fixture, it was kind of a mystery, like what should we do? But we pulled in this more modern yellow light, which kind of ties together all the different textures and pieces in this house without giving it too old of a feel. I also think the modern light up against this girly floral wallpaper allows it to work. It allows you to imagine this space. So I love my big yellow light. And this butcher block was an amazing Facebook Marketplace find. I love Facebook Marketplace, especially in Charleston. It's just an old butcher block I got from a really nice lady. And it has some storage in here, which is very key for a smaller space. And I love how it looks kind of old and worn and used. Underneath here for seating, we have 2 white stools that pull out and allow this butcher block to turn into a table because we don't have a dining room in this space, which has been a great way to be able to have a dining table and a usable workspace in the kitchen at the same time. This is my farmhouse sink. This was a little bit of a puzzle during the renovation process to think about how do we fit a sink in here. There used to be a very old, very crusty, very bad sink in here. So we tore it out and put in this new, fresh farmhouse sink with this gold faucet that's mounted on the wall, which I love the wall mount. I think it adds a very farmhouse feel. And we also fit a dishwasher in here, which was kind of a miracle. So we have a dishwasher and the sink, and I love it. You'll see above these windows and in the windows throughout the house, I got these bamboo shades, which add this natural feel that kind of ties in the floors and the middle piece here. And I think it gives such an organic bungalow feel throughout the house and some consistency room to room. So you'll notice these in my bedroom, in the living room, etc. This piece of the kitchen was actually completely new. So what you just saw over here, it was original, and this was a new piece. So during the design process, we kind of asked, how do we make it look like it blends? In the attic of the house, we actually found some of the tile that's the same tile as the countertop. So we were able to bring it over here and turn it into the backsplash, which really brings the 2 pieces together and was just kind of a stroke of luck. So I love that and the way the cabinets fit together. We have some cookbooks over here featuring my hometown and some of my other favorite chefs that I love. Some colorful dish towels to add that I like to change out seasonally just for some fun. Candle, my Le Creuset, all the essentials. This is my bar cart. I love the raffia and bamboo influence. I also kind of hate working with black. I never really use black, but we were able to bring some black in to tie into like the oven and the other black pieces that you see, kind of give it a grounding feel. But I complemented the black with a lot of colorful glasses. We have a lamp, which brings in a lot of light. I love adding a little lamp to any space, especially a bar cart and in a kitchen. I love a lamp in a kitchen. And then this piece is something I found in an antique store, and it says, "In this house of peace and rest, we welcome you, our lovely guests." Before the renovation in this kitchen, there was some sticky tile placed on top of these beautiful hardwoods. And so when we pulled it up, we were so excited to see that the floors were intact, and we just did some refinishing, and now they're not perfect, but I like the imperfect, beautiful original look of them. Another thing we did in the kitchen was bring this beadboard in with this chair rail trim and allow us to use wallpaper without it being overwhelming. And I love that it brings some relief to your eye, but still some character. So it is a new piece, but it looks kind of original. My go-to design tip is just, if you love it, it will all look great together. And my other tip is I started collecting stuff for my future house since I was very young, and that has definitely paid off. It was a little crazy at the time because you don't have a house yet. However, it has filled my house with so many treasures that mean so much to me, and that has been really fun over the years to see it come to life in this space. I think what I love most about my home is that it's small and it kind of feels like a dollhouse, but also it's just such a fulfillment of my childhood dreams. I kind of designed it thinking of like what myself as a young girl would love. I grew up going to a lot of open houses and home tours on the weekends with my parents, and I loved color and sewing and crafting and just what art meant. I was also addicted to HGTV as a young child, and so I always dreamed of a renovation, and this house was my first try and kind of my first fulfillment of those early dreams. I would describe my personal style as eclectic and very collected, but fun and approachable, kind of that classic meets bohemian meets color. I kind of like to say I just identify things as, okay, that looks like me, and I bring it into my house. But we have a lot of stuff in here that I've collected over the years from a lot of traveling, a lot of my family members, a lot of things that have been passed down, or things I see that I just love. Next, I'd love to show you my bedroom. Welcome to my bedroom. The best part about my bedroom is my green bed. I wanted a big, bright pop of color. and the green definitely achieved that. However, it's still a bedroom, still a place to relax and wind down. So I tried to think about how do we combine the green with some more relaxing textiles and colors. So we brought in this blue shade, which is my favorite, and this brown throughout the linens, which I think really ground the green, but also give it its moment. This was a big wall, so when we thought about what art to put on the wall, I had these prints that I brought back from Italy, and I complemented by getting some inexpensive frames and spray painting them and then arranging it in this unexpected order to bring in some color that matches the lampshades and the beds, but also that brown grounding color in the prints. These two side tables were a Facebook Marketplace find, and I love that it has two levels here so that you can really show off a lot of these coffee table books and little tchotchkes and things that I collect. So on this one, we have two boxes from the World Fair. So they made these for World Fairs throughout the country, and I have one throughout the world, actually. I have one from Italy and one from Paris, and I love those. I found them at a flea market in Milan, Italy. So those boxes are really special. And then I have it complemented with some classic gray Malin coffee table books, some other jewelry boxes, and other little figurines. I love these lampshades. They're fabric lampshades that are pleated and bring a lot of color against this neutral lamp. This painting is also painted by my dad of me as a little girl in northern Michigan, which is my other favorite place to be. Now we'll go over to the other side table. Same lamp happening over here with this matching lamp and lamp shade. And then again, I love the two levels here because it allows you to display a lot of stuff without it feeling too cluttered. So on the bottom level, I have some of my favorite books and other little nightstand things to hold my jewelry, etc. A picture of my mom and I, and some more boxes, including this bleak heart and this Magnificat print that I found also at an antique store. I love Belique. A lot of the women in my family are Belique collectors because we're very Irish, so you'll see that throughout my home as well. This painting is from my grandparents' house. My grandma so generously gave it to me. I have so many fond memories of it being displayed in their hallway. So during dinner parties and holidays, I would always see it and imagine myself one day being at some type of ball like these colorful ladies are. So I love waking up to it in the morning. This is my dresser, another Facebook Marketplace find. I was really looking for this vintage refinished pine feel, and this one really struck the exact thing I was looking for. On top, I added this tray that holds all of my jewelry. I love jewelry, so we always have little boxes and little trays to hold my earrings and all sorts of things that I love to collect. This mirror is actually from Home Goods. I found it and just loved the floral wood design. We have a blue lamp with this scallop shade to bring in the scalloped bedding as well. I also love this dresser because I try to think about when I'm buying furniture pieces, if, God forbid, I went to a new home, this dresser could also work in a living room with bar stuff on top, or it could go in different places. So I love that this piece will be with me for a lifetime. Here I also have this little candelabra moment I also got at a thrift store. Above my bed is this chandelier that I love, and around the top this was actually original in the kitchen, and I took it off and I spray painted it and painted it blue to match the fridge and the paint under the awnings, and I put it up here with this chandelier that has this floral white ironwork, so it really adds a feminine touch to the bedroom. Next, I'd love to show you my bathroom. Welcome to my bathroom. I love this bathroom, especially the wallpaper. We chose this butterfly print that brings in this yellow that you actually see this from the kitchen. So it is the same line with that big yellow light in my kitchen, and also some new colors with these blues and greens. We added this cafe curtain for privacy, which was a great inexpensive trick and adds that charming feel. These bathroom floors are also original, and I love the white and black check. When we did the renovation, we took off some black molding around the bottom to kind of take that black out and bring in this white, light, airy feeling. We added this trim on the bottom and brought the tile up as well, which is a great wallpaper saver because you only have to do half the wall, and that allowed us to do wallpaper throughout the bathroom. These built-ins in the bathroom are one of my other favorite things about the house. They are original and also provide a ton of storage and charm. We added these brass features on the sides to bring in the brass elements from the kitchen. And then also in the bathroom, this mirror is also another original built-in, and it opens up to storage. And I love the framing, and I also love that we kept these original features of the home and didn't tear it out and worked with it, as they add a lot of charm now that I live here. This vanity we brought in, I love the hardware that brings the blue. These are leather handles with brass, brings the blue into this piece of furniture with the same brass hardware as the kitchen. And I love the little accessories such as this pink tray to feature candle, perfume, etc., and bring some character into the bathroom space. And the soap dish over here, like I said, I love collected items. The soap dish I actually got in Budapest when I was studying abroad and carried it all the way home, and now it sits on my vanity every day with soap from Paris. I love the colors, and I also love having these things in my daily life that reminds me of my great memories of travel. This piece brings me so much joy. It's titled Sunshine, and I got it from a thrift store. At the time, I was like, what in the world am I going to do with this? And it came in perfect, and it brought in the yellow. I do love how it's a little bit unexpected. Just like they say in fashion, with the wrong shoe theory, I love practicing the wrong art theory. I kind of thought about bringing in something soft or simple as an art piece above the toilet, but I love that we did this bold, funny, funky print. I started My Great Marketing, which is my marketing agency, about 2 years ago. However, I was always doing content creation and digital marketing freelance since I was in college. So I started building it then, and I moved to Charleston about 4 years ago and found that this is just the perfect city for people who are creators or making or doing something exciting. So we kind of jumped into that, and now we come alongside lifestyle brands who need digital marketing help. So we do web and socials and ads and branding and everything that comes along with a digital brand. The Birdhouse, my house, is a 1930s bungalow in Charleston, South Carolina, and the door here, the front door, is to my right. And you come in on the porch, and then this is my living room, and then you head into the kitchen, and then there's 2 bedrooms to the left, so it's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house, and then we have a laundry room off the back, and then it goes into my backyard. Next, I'd love to show you my guest bedroom. Right before I head into my guest bedroom, I'd love to share the things in my hallway. So originally, this was an old phone booth in the home, and I turned it into this place to feature this grotto art. We painted the back blue and put in this perfectly fitting statue that features Lourdes, France, which is one of my favorite places, and it just brings me so much joy every day. And then above it, in an old frame, I put a wallpaper sample, which is a great way to use wallpaper samples, is picture matting. And then above is just a note that I found in my grandma's things that I took from her home that says, don't just pray about what seems logical and possible, pray hard about the impossible. Because nothing is impossible with God. Ever, period, end of story. And I love that it features her handwriting and her heart in my hallway. Welcome into my guest bedroom and my office. This is a small space, so we really had to think about how we would make the most of it. So we brought in this day bed, which I love. It gives this couch-like feeling, but it's still super comfortable for guests. And then I put this sisal rug with scallops. You'll notice a scallop trend throughout. That kind of grounds the room and brings in that bohemian vibe. For my desk chair here, I found this on Facebook Marketplace as well. It was $10. And I love the mixed pattern and the unlikely wear of the chair. It has this crisscross back and then this turquoise painted wood as well. On this bed, I kept the linen simple and then complemented it with colorful pillows that I like to change in and out, and then a throw blanket that also brings that color in. Color, color, color. That's the theme of this house for sure. And then we also added this light from IKEA that kind of hangs over the bed, and especially when it's on at night, it gives a spotlight and focus to the bed and brings some more intimate lighting into the space. Behind is a blue painting. I don't even know where it came from, but I love the blue color and it hangs on the wall. Also, we added shiplap to this room, which really helped bring the what were really old walls, worn out walls, a new life, and brings that cottage, cozy, beachy feeling in here. So that really cleaned up the space. And then this is just a bookshelf full of some of my favorite reads and some more art on the top. This is my little desk that I love. I work here often when I'm not working from my office. I love the scallop detail on the desk and the fact that it's a little bit worn out. Kind of indicates that we're working hard to me. And then above it, we have some art. This painting was done by my friend Emily. This is a simple quote. And then this light actually was the original light fixture on the exterior of the home that you can see in the Polaroid in my living room. We brought it inside the house and I spray painted it gold, and it sits here as a reminder of the original character of the home. Storage in a small house is always hard, so I have little closets throughout the house. This is one of them underneath my stairs where I keep a lot of my coats and a lot of my shoes. And then here are a few pictures from when I studied abroad in Italy that just call back the wonderful memories of travel. Behind this door in the guest bedroom leads to my blue steps and our attic loft. Welcome to my attic space. This is a fun bonus space we just recently redid. So in the front part here features my little sewing craft corner up here. And when I was designing this space, I always thought about what would my dream scenario be as a little girl. So this is kind of a little girly hideaway and craft corner upstairs. Here we have a little reading nook and bed in the front. And then in the back, we have a full bed mattress with fun pillows. I'd love to take you to this back room next, but definitely watch your head because it's a little bit short up here. This is the back part of my attic. The bed here, this is a quilt that my great-grandmother made. I love the colors. With a few throw pillows, the bamboo blinds we brought up here as well. And then on either side of the bed, a few art pieces, coffee table books, and decoration around the bed. And these are the original attic floors that were up here, and we painted them blue, and I love the painted floor look with the little gaps in between. It feels very charming to me. The shiplap on the walls really crisped up the space in complement to the floors. I think any home comes alive with those personal touches, your personal collections. I am a meaning maker. I love to make meaning. So notes from grandparents or art from your house or things with a memory, I find really bring the house some roots and some life, which I love. The second thing I would say is color. I love color. There's a lot of color in here, and art. Next, we'll go back downstairs and I'll show you my laundry room. And back to the kitchen. Welcome to my little laundry room. We were able to fit a laundry machine here, and then next to it, storage is important in a small house. So we fit the shelf and then complemented it with these baskets that are straw and hide a lot of things like linens and shoes, etc. very well. And then hats for extra charm and storage. And then this is a great ledge for plants. This is a great drop spot. We put this bench here where you can put bags, shoes, all of the things as you come through the house. The floors in here are a floral tile that features that blue color throughout the house and also look a little bit worn. Guests often ask if they're original. The answer is no, but I love thinking that they might be. Next, I love to take you to my front porch. Welcome to my front porch. This is my favorite place to sit in the morning, have dinner at night, share a glass of wine with a guest. This is a great white bistro set. Kind of gives a fresh Serena and Lily feel. And then we have an outdoor rug here and a bench for extra seating. And I love the view of the azaleas outside my porch right now because it's spring. The ceiling is blue. A lot of homes in Charleston have a blue porch ceiling. This is the same blue that's on the awnings and also matches the fridge on the inside. So I love bringing that into the outdoor space. And this rug is a Lowe's clearance find, but it does bring in the teal colors inside my family room, which is right through this door. To me, home is a place where we wait for heaven. It is a special place that we get to gather and live and where our day-to-day unfolds. For me, my house and my home is a creative outlet. It's a place where I can be creative and live my artistic life every day. Homeworthy, it was so fun showing you around my home in Charleston, South Carolina, and I hope to see you again soon.
Thanks for watching. Go to homeworthy.com for exclusive content and shopping guides.